Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the latest updates on critical global events. Today, we take you to the heart of the South China Sea, where geopolitical tensions are on the rise. In this video, we'll closely examine the actions of the U.S. carrier strike group in this region and its impact on international relations. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on important global developments. Now, let's get started. The South China Sea has become a focal point of international attention, with territorial disputes and escalating tensions between the United States and China. At the center of this standoff is the U.S. Carrier Strike Group. The U.S. Navy's Carrier Strike Group is a formidable force consisting of an aircraft carrier, guided missile cruisers, destroyers, and submarines. It's a symbol of American military power and presence in this region. As we can see from this map, the South China Sea is home to several disputed territories, claimed by multiple countries, including China, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Taiwan. In recent months, the U.S. Carrier Strike Group has been conducting regular patrols and exercises in the South China Sea, challenging China's claims and asserting freedom of navigation. A U.S. Carrier Strike Group began operating in the South China Sea on Thursday, the Navy announced, amid heightened tensions with Beijing, which claims much of the body of water as its sovereign territory. Two Chinese ships are already tailing the U.S. group, a defense official, which consists of an aircraft carrier, a guided missile cruiser, and 3 guided missile destroyers. The Nimitz Carrier Strike Group, which has lethal and non-lethal capabilities from space to undersea, across every axis and every domain, according to its commander, entered the South China Sea for the first time as part of its current deployment. The deployment comes as the U.S. military bolsters its presence in the region in an effort to deter China, which is undergoing a rapid modernization and expansion of its own military and nuclear capabilities. This week, the U.S. and Japan announced a bolstered U.S. Marine presence in Okinawa, which would have advanced intelligence and anti-ship capabilities. The two allies also announced a series of other initiatives designed to bring the militaries closer together in the face of what they see as China's growing assertiveness in the region. We share a common vision with Japan to maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific, and all the things that we're doing, point towards that direction, said Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin on Wednesday, speaking with Secretary of State Antony Blinken and their Japanese counterparts in Washington. 3 weeks ago, a Chinese G-11 fighter jet intercepted a U.S. RC-135 reconnaissance aircraft over the South China Sea in what the U.S. called an unsafe maneuver. The RC-135 rivet joint was forced to take evasive action, the U.S. said, when the Chinese jet closed to within 20 feet of the larger, slower reconnaissance jet. The People's Liberation Army fired back with their own account of the interception, claiming it was the U.S. aircraft that had abruptly changed its flight attitude. With a dangerous approaching maneuver, despite a Chinese military video showing nothing of the sort, the encounter underscored the inherent tensions related to the South China Sea, where Beijing has used its own artificial militarized islands to advance a claim of sovereignty not recognized by the U.S. or its allies. The Chinese Navy routinely tails U.S. warships operating in the South China Sea, even claiming on occasion that it drove away the U.S. vessels after they have left the disputed waters. In November, China claimed that it forced the U.S. Chancellorsville out of the South China Sea after it illegally entered the waters without Beijing's approval, which showed the U.S. is a true producer of security risks in the region. The U.S. responded bluntly, calling the Chinese account false and the latest in a long string of People's Republic of China actions to misrepresent lawful U.S. maritime operations and assert its excessive and illegitimate maritime claims. at the expense of its Southeast Asian neighbors. The U.S. guided missile cruiser was operating in the South China Sea as part of a freedom of navigation operation under international law, the Navy said. All nations, large and small, should be secure in their sovereignty, free from coercion, and able to pursue economic growth consistent with accepted international rules and norms, the U.S. said at the time. The presence of the U.S. carrier strike group in the South China Sea sends a clear message that the United States is committed to maintaining a rules-based international order and ensuring the freedom of navigation in these waters. Simultaneously, diplomatic negotiations between the U.S. and China have been ongoing, but tensions remain high. The South China Sea issue has become a major point of contention. Headlines around the world have been closely following developments in the South China Sea, and analysts are concerned about the potential for miscalculation leading to a larger conflict. That's all for today's in-depth look at the U.S. carrier strike group operating in the South China Sea. We'll continue to monitor this situation as it unfolds, so make sure to stay tuned for more updates. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And remember to follow us on social media for real-time updates.